Hello friends, today I am here to speak on the subject Principles of Organization Management, short form SPOM. This is a part of my first module course of MBA program at NITI. The subject is taught to us by Dr. T. Prasad, popularly known as Dr. Mandi. As I go further, I will discuss what I learned in the subject or rather experienced in the subject because of the innovative methods of teaching of Dr. Mandi, which I will discuss further. What is organization and what is management? Organization is two or more people working together continuously to achieve a common goal, and management is the process of consciously and continuously guiding them to achieve that goal. Then why do organizations need these principles? Organizations need these principles because every organization wants to achieve excellence, which is a component of two things: efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency is doing the things in the right way, and effectiveness is doing the right thing. Unless an organization does the right thing in the right way, it cannot achieve excellence. So, many eminent personalities gave theories which help organizations achieve excellence. Some of these theories which we learned as a part of this subject were Mr. Frederick Taylor's scientific management theory, in which we understood high scientific principles like standardization, work method study could be implemented to achieve excellence. We also learned about Max Weber's bureaucratic theories, where the importance of rules and regulations were implemented or discussed. Also discussed Henry Fayol's theory. Then we also learned how an organization needs to be designed, what factors have to be considered in mind, whether we should, how many departments it should have, what kind of hierarchy level, whether a tall hierarchy level or a flat hierarchy level. For example, in a creative organization, a tall hierarchy level can be a problem because a lot of coordination is involved and the decision making can be small, can be take time. So depending on the type of organization, the hierarchy has to be decided. We also learned what kind of structure should an organization should follow, whether an organization should have a product structure or a market structure or a matrix structure. A product structure means organization has separate teams for every product. Like if it has 3 products A, B, C, it has a separate team for A product, B product, C product. This type of structure is for those organizations which have a lot of products. Then we have also a market structure where the organization can divide themselves into the basis of markets: Asia structure, the Europe structure, basically for multinational companies. Then we have we have also done a matrix structure, which is a new evolving kind of structure, where we have a mix of both product as a function structure. Functional structures are our conventional forms of structure, where the organization is divided into basic fundamentals like marketing, finance, operations, and others. Now, in a new world and the big organizations, they generally follow the product structure or the matrix structure. Then, how the power has to be structured? What kind of delegation should we have? Should we have a decentralization or a centralization? And how it affects the organization? We all learned all those things. We also learned how to take a decision under the concept of bounded rationality, because managers will never have complete information. They will be always bounded by certain limitations, whether of time, money, or intelligence. And how to take the right decision under this concept of bounded rationality, we learned. We also learned how to design a job. Once we design the structure and all, the job has to be designed. So we need to choose the right kind of skill set. What is the importance of the job in the overall completion of the project, and what kind of teamwork would be required or a leadership would be required for the job, that need to be decided. Then how to motivate the employee, because employees are the crucial people. We as managers have to get the work done from them, but while doing so they should not feel exploited. So how do we motivate them? We learned about the theory X and theory Y managers. Theory X managers believe that the employee needs to be strictly supervised, they have to be continuously monitored, because otherwise they would like to avoid work and would not work well. Whereas theory Y managers believe that all employees are self-controlled, self-guided and motivated to do the work in the best possible way, and if encouraged, they can show a lot of ingenuity and creativity to the work. We also learned about Maslow's theory and the two-factor theory, which talked about the satisfying factors and the dissatisfying factors of a job, and what combination we can have to give the employee the most motivation, because every employee would have different needs and it would depend on the kind of industry you are in. Then leadership skills. Every manager needs to have leadership skills. What kind of leadership skills? What style of leadership should a person follow in what kind of situation? What kind of situation would need for a task behavior leadership? And what kind of situation would need for a relationship behavior leadership? Every leadership leader also needs to be a good follower. If you're not a good follower, you cannot be a leader. So, how do you juggle between the two? How when to be a leader, when to be a follower? Then, teamwork. A manager has a team. How does he build a team? How does he build team norms? How does he build cohesiveness among the team and interdependence among the team so that they work well as a unit and support each other when one needs it? All those things were learned and experienced. Dr. Mandi used really creative concepts. He make us learn the concept of goal setting by asking us to build a block of towers. He make us understood the concept of problem solving by really asking us to solve a complex puzzle, and the concept of teamwork by exercise such as valley crossing, where three people have to work together in a team to cross a valley. These practical experiences, these were learning experiences which helped me understand the concept at large and also helped me understand how I could relate to them in my work experience. While I was working in my last in Tubro, what I needed from my boss and how he could have done it better and how could I have approached him better. Whatever I learned, I put into my blog. You can go through the same, and everything which I've learned in my 3 months of course in this, I put it there. I hope it would be a good learning experience for you all. As for the implications of these concepts which I've learned, would they be beneficial for me in the future? These subjects, these concepts have stood withstood the times and have proved effective. If really applied in the right way, they can help us build the right team and achieve any kind of goal. I have really experienced it through the exercise which I have done at home, which I have done at my class, and I have gained a lot from the subject, and I have tried to tell you people what I have learned, and hopefully when you go through this video and when you go through my blogs, you will further understand it and the implications of it. Thank you.